education's gonna teach you what I do. The truth is that I learned my trade when I got out of school. This blue can count this rock right, this turbo four-wheel drive. Well, it don't make me no redneck. I've been bubba-fied. If I ain't in church on Sunday, don't pray for my soul. I'll find my salvation down by the fishing hole. Pick college from grocery bags beside the double wide. But it don't make me no redneck. I've been bubba-fied. Well, they want no grand procedure. I'm my old man walking through the woods, working with our hands. It goes back generations, this blue collar pride. But it don't make me no redneck. I've been bubba-fied. It took up to Bronte quick stop kills my Monday morning blues. And his long necks on short check when the working week is through. In dreams I'm driving NASCAR, taking Junior boy ride. But it don't make me no redneck. I've been bubba-fied. Yeah, I have. Glory, hallelujah. I've been bubba-fied.
Thank you very much on that. So make sure you guys check it out. The ride will end at the BMW in Moundsville. So it's $10. Your chance to sign up to the Valley Harley Davidson in Bethlehem from 11 to 1. The parade leaves at 1. Ends at Moundsville. So $10. Check it out. It's now time for your chance to win that $2,000 in cash.
Really, Wiley? I'm having some dental.
Hey, if you have your entries.
Give me your hand in front of you.
All the 15 people that are in saying, pull that sucker, pull that sucker. No, we're not waiting now. It's too late. You give me $2,000, you can get in. They've both been drinking. Trust me, I've got this. All right, you guys hang out there. Don't jump off the end of the stage. Both of you have been drinking excessively all day long. We're waiting. We're not pulling it yet. Correct. Last call for alcohol. No, I'm teasing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find out who the big winner is. I have $2,000 in cash in my pocket. I have a W-9 form for you, too. Uncle Sam, Barack Obama wants his cut of this.
Trees grow so tall in the bright sunshine. A young boy steals his daddy's fishing line. Alligator lays on the bank of the riverbed.
We are just 5,200.
And if you didn't know any better, you'd swear he's dead. 'Cause you ain't just whistling Dixie, you ain't just slapping your knee. I'm a grandson of the Southland and heir to the Confederacy. You ain't just whistling Dixie, the cattle call's calling me home. So put me down there where I wanna be, plant my feet with Robert E. Lee. Bury my bones under the cypress tree and never let me roam.
I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. Thank you all for making the journey to Wheeling. We appreciate. Before we get started, I have some dignitaries that I'd like to introduce tonight. We have with us State Senator Jack Yost. Jack, where are you? Will you stand up? There he is. House of Delegates member Ryan Ferns was supposed to be here. Ryan, are you here? Okay, he hasn't come in. We have a member of the Ohio County Commission, Orphy Klumpa. We have the Public Works Director for the City of Wheeling, Rusty Jebbia. And we have 3 City Council people from the City of Wheeling here tonight. Dawn Atkinson, Gloria Delbrook, and Herc Henry. Can you stand? Thank you all for coming. It's the support of the city, the county commission, and the state that enables us to do what we do here, so we are very grateful for your support. I'd also like to introduce, as many of you know, we have a title sponsor. Westbanco has now been our title sponsor for several years. We are pleased to welcome tonight new boat owner and chairman of the board of Westbanco, Jim Gardell. Easter Seals is really the heart and soul behind what we do here. We are very pleased that in the first 8 years of the regatta, we have donated over $42,000 to Easter Seals. Including our donation of $7,800 last year. We are very proud of that. We are delighted tonight to have the CEO of Easter Seals, Tracy Kinney. Tracy, stand up. I don't know where you are. The CFO of Easter Seals, Emily Fisher. And we also have from Easter Seals, Carrie Sacco and Betty McCarty. Could you stand? Last but not least, a regatta like this only happens because of the committee. There are over 40 people that work year-round on this regatta, bringing it to you. Nearly all of them are here tonight, and I would like for them to stand for a round of applause at this time. Okay, we're almost ready for dinner. Just want to give you a little bit of a description of what we're going to do tonight. They will, I think, Julie, they're going to call tables. Will they call tables? Okay, they'll call you for dinner. Immediately following dinner, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to show a video. The video is going to be shown on this TV right here, and I'm sure that many of you can't see it. So after you're finished dinner, if you want to kind of get to where you can see this TV, I guarantee you're going to want to see this video. After that, we are going to present our award winners. And then following that, we have an auction of 2 very special items tonight. Marv Hart is going to help us with that. And then we'll pull our door prizes. So that's how we're going to run things. Thank you all so much for being here, and they will begin calling your tables very shortly.
Wheeling, West Virginia is a special place, and we know that, those of us who live here, and we welcome the opportunity to bring it to others. Please bless us. Please look down upon us this evening. Make this weekend safe. Make it fun. Make it something to always remember in a positive way. And bless our food this evening so that we can all gain sustenance and strength and health to get through the weekend, to have great fun, and to praise you through our actions. And we ask this through your Son.
I always kind of feel like so much harder.
So as soon as Mark gets finished showing this lovely blanket off, these will go to the two top bidders. Remember, as we do this, all the proceeds from this auction go directly to Easter Seals. So I would encourage you to bid strongly and to bid high. I'll give this to Mark.
Who are the boats?
Somebody, all of them, I don't know.
The Lauderback specials on there, if that's what you want. What
Good evening, folks. I am your auctioneer, or somebody could call me the hired mouth. Anyway, I gotta loosen you up a little bit. Auctioning, normally everybody goes to an auction because they want a bargain, right? Tonight there are no bargains. Alright? We're here to raise some money for Easter Seals. Is that a good cause?
Yes, it is.
Alright. So, if you feel philanthropic, if your heart feels good, your tummy is already full, help me out and make some money for these people who need it more than we do. And that's the Easter Seals group. So, for the picture, I want an opening bid and an offer. Show me what you got here. Let me see $50. I want to see $50 now. I see $50. I got $50 over here. $50 now, 60, I got 60, 65. 65 over here. $75, 75 over here. 35 over here. Okay, $80, $80, where's the $80? That now, where's the show me $80, I got $80 over here. Okay, $90. $90 over there. Okay, $100 now. Easter Seals, I got 100 over here. 125, 125, 125, yeah, 125, 150. 150 over there, or 150. 150 over there. 150 now. 160. 160. Hey, here's the first 60 over there. Well, are you 160? 160 now. Bid it, bid it, bid it. Who's going to take it home? 160. I got 160 over here. We'll take it 170. Will you take 170, sir? 170 now. 185. 185 over here. I got 185 now. Let's make 200. Let's make 200 for Easter Seals. Come on, round it off, folks. Help me get 200. 200 now. 200. I got 200 over there. Take the sir. All right, 2 1/4 now. 2 1/4. Bid it. Where's it going to go? Where's it going to go? Who's going to be like? Who's going to be 2 1/4? 2 1/4. We're going to sell it for $200. I got 2 1/4 now. 250. 250 now. 250 now. Where's it going to be? Bid it now. Bid it now. Won't it? Bid it now. Take it home. Take it home for 250. Who's going to take it home? I got 250. Who's going to take it home? My girlfriend keeps bidding this thing up. All right. This is out of my pocket, guys. Help me out. 250 now over here. Girlfriend 250. Help me out. 260. 260, 60, 60. Labor 260. Labor 260 over there. 260. Who's going to take this home? I am? Come on. 260, 60, 260. 275 over there for the man. 275. Who bid it at 280? Who bid it at 280? Take it home. Girlfriend is back. Not 290. She says 300. Gee! She's philanthropic with my money. 300 now. 325, 325. Who's going to be philanthropic? Help out this Easter Seals 325. 325. We got 300 now. We're going to sell it for 301. 300 twice. We're going to sell it now. All set. All done. All done. 325. 325. Thank you. All right, 330 now. 330, 330. I'm looking for 330. 330, we're looking for. We're going to sell it now. We're going to sell it now. 331. She's back again. 330. 335. 335. We got to do this now. We got to go. 335. What is the man do it? 335. 350, I'll take it home. I honestly got 350. 350, I got 350 right here. 350, go take it home. Sell it once. Sell it twice. I'm on a tree. So wait up there. Second one goes over here. Second bidder's right over here.
No, you're second bidder, Mark. You're donating back to me.
Oh, thank you.
Are you the second bidder?
No. Three pushes.
Give that
Right
to
here,
Roger.
push.
Pass that back to Roger.
Thank you. Let's go, Phil. Second bidder. Thank you all, folks. what we all do for each of us. It's big. What else have we got?
I'm going to ask John Fitzgerald to come up. He's very graciously offered another item that I think is going to be extremely popular here in just a second.
Hey everybody, thank you. Our good friend Phil Coons over here, I'm sure a lot of you people have bought in the past his prop riders. I bought one of the first ones that he ever produced. And how many years, Phil?
That was 2003.
2003. Since 2003, I've been collecting autographs in that book. At the present time, I have 127 autographs in there, of which I think 120 are original. I'm talking Henry Lauderback, Larry Lauderback, Ron Jones Sr., and a ton of names in here. John Staudacher, Peter Knight from New Zealand. We took the book to New Zealand and had Peter and his son autograph the book. You're not going to find another one, because nobody is as dumb as me to grab a hundred autographs for 11 years. I ask you, I don't have it with us. We will get your information that will be shipped to you. I urge you, dig in here. You're not going to find another book like this. My wife even autographed it, but I had to pay her $5 to get her autograph to put in the damn book. So dig deep, and thank you so much. What a great banquet, what a great crowd of people you have out here. Senator, you're most fortunate to have all these people here. Did they all vote for you or what? Did all the people vote for you? Come to New Jersey, I'll send you some votes. We vote for everybody out there. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Wow. That's the spirit of giving, and that's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about giving, and now it's your turn. I want an opening bid and offer on the book. Famous history book. I want an opening offer in the back. Come here, show me what you want. Show me you start it out. Who's going to start it out for me? What do you got to do? $100 in the back. $100, that shows you what kind of quality we got. And I got two, right here. Okay? That's the kind of quality we got. Give me 225, now 525, 225. 225, I got 25 here, 250. 250, now we're going to do 50. 250 over here, Scott. Somebody over here's got philanthropic feelings. Somebody over here's got some money. Come on. I got 225 over here. I'm looking for 250. Say hello. Say hello. Raise your hand, 250. 250 back there. There's a man that knows. 250 now, 275, 575, 275. Come on, 275. Show me where you are. Who are you? 275 right there. Thank you, sir. How about 300? Can we make 300 now? This is history, and it's giving to people who need it. I'm looking for $300. Will you help me? 300 now. 300 now. I got 300 now. 325, 55, 325. Where is it? Bid it now. Bid it now. Bid it out. Bid it. That's okay. Just bid it up, there. 325, 5. Hey, you bid it 325, you take it home. Take it home at 325. Okay, we're going to sell it 300. We got 300 here, 325 now. Okay, 350. There's a man. There's a man that knows. You can take this thing home for 325. You can take it home for 350, 359, 359, 350, 53. I got 350. He's going to take it home. How about you? 375, 555 for 375. He's going to take it home for 300. He's going to take it home for $25. 350, 375. Say 335. Raise your hand. Say hello. 375. 375. 375. 350. 375. Oh, girlfriend, sit on your hands. 375. 375. Okay, 350 going once there. There's 350. You got it, sir.
I got it.
It's your bid at 350. He needs to bid again. I can't bid him to get off his hands. For 25 bucks, you could slam dunk them. 350 now, 375. Say 375. Say hello. 375. Okay, 375. We're gonna go once. We're gonna go twice. Are you all silent? Are you all bid? 375. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you, everybody who bid, and most of all, thank you to the winners. We just raised, I don't know if you guys are counting, we just raised almost $1,000 for Easter Seals. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to go just a little bit off script here for just a second, and I'll see if I can get through this. I might not be able to. When we started this regatta almost 10 years ago, next week is when we first met with the City of Wheeling officials to tell them that we wanted to do this. We had an idea, Dan and I had an idea that we wanted to do this. We thought maybe we could bring our friends home to see what a great city we live in. As we have gone through this last 10 years, it has been an amazing partnership between my husband and I. I don't know if I can do this. His birthday is on Sunday, and I'd like for everybody to join in singing happy birthday for him, and we do have a little cake for him. So if we could sing him, I would appreciate it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dan. Happy birthday to you. John Fitzgerald, thank you so much for your gracious donation of the book. Thank you so much. Okay, we will now, I'm going to turn this over to my husband Dan, who will now take over the ceremonies, and we'll introduce our award winners. And after we're finished with that, we'll go to door prizes.
Thanks, everybody. I don't know where the cake went, but enjoy it. Couple things. One is my brother, Brian, wherever he is, and sister-in-law, Julie. Where are you guys? Thank you so much for all you've done. They laid out all this. You spent all day doing this. Every year they do this for us. And thank you so much for organizing it. Another thing I want to mention, we mentioned about the fact that we have a new boat in Wheeling now. The Gardills, Jim Gardill bought the Roman Candle, which is a spectacular boat sitting down by ours. It's a little bit behind ours, which is where it's going to continue to be. But anyway, but I do want to talk, every organization, and we've got a lot of good people. We are so blessed with the folks that we have on our regatta committee. But, you have, every committee kind of has a VIP, somebody that's really important. And we have a couple who live very close to Wheeling in Wellsburg, West Virginia, who have the latest of the boats here. Won't be running this weekend, but a Gold Cupper. John, Meriwether, you guys up there somewhere? If you get a chance, they have a brand new boat, just showed up for the first time. This is the first time they've even seen it. John Jenkins completed it. So anyway, you wouldn't believe all the stuff they've done, including the fact that they've even offered a percentage of sales to go to our organization as a result of sales through their catalog. So anyway, Merco Marine, anybody needs anything in the way of docks, go to Merco Marine. John is terrific. So anyway, thank you so much, John. Now, there's been a lot of stuff on the internet recently. People are trying to find something that has been missing for a few years. And anybody recognize this thing? For those who haven't received this award yet, why are you looking that way? There are some tremendous autographs on here from some very famous people or infamous people. This is the Golden Snorkel Award. For those newer to vintage, this was given out as an award to those people who managed to do something really stupid at the previous event. Now, because it's been sitting in my brother's laboratory for years, and after the divorce and everything that happened, it kind of got hidden away. I thought about it when it came up that maybe it's just out there. And so anyway, Brian said, sure enough, it's in a vacant office out there, and he was able to find it. So I would like to present this to somebody, and you know, it's not as official now because we don't have a previous event. It's been a while. But a year ago, we had somebody who was at our event who managed to find his way off the dock into the water. He carries a title that, if you look at my shirt, it says West Banco. He's also the board chair of West Banco. Jim Gardill, come up here. I'd like you to see you. It really is a reason to have a snorkel when you've been kind of out here.
Thank you very much. I really need a race suit that's waterproof. You don't strive for that every year.
Anyway, as I go through this, each year I find my favorite activity of the year, and that is giving awards out. This year we got 3 recipients who are tremendously these are heroes of mine, I guess. It's interesting. One of whom asked me the other day, "How did you get involved in all this stuff?" And I realized that I am turning 61 this week, and 50 years ago this year I joined the APBA. I was 11 years old when I joined, and I didn't think about it until it was just mentioned to me by Ann Fitzgerald. And so anyway, I've got my old rule book, and I memorized, in those days, I memorized everybody's name, so I knew everybody. You guys didn't know I knew you, but I knew you. Anyway, we're going to start off. Larry Lauderback, you want to come up here with me for a minute? As we know, some people know who Larry is. Those who don't know, he'll tell you. It's harder, you know.
Okay, Bob. Okay, Bob.
Okay, Bob. First recipient, we started this with Larry, and the Henry Lauterbach Excellence in Powerboat Racing Award started when we first started the regatta. To give a little something back to those who've given so much to all of us. Larry's going to help me with this, but I just want to mention there's a gentleman here who comes from a boat racing family. His father raced. He's 3-time High Point champion, 1965, 66, 68, in a boat called Woody Junior Special. 1970, I believe, he set gave his engine to Tommy Heathwood in the Southern style. And it's a slant 6 Chrysler, and anyway, set straightaway record, the kilo record for the 150 class. Went over 121 miles an hour at the time. Later, they became national champion in 69 and 70. 74, Woody set an A-class competition record in a boat family affair, averaging 86 miles an hour. More importantly to me is I was a kid sitting on the judge's stand in Martinsville, West Virginia, talking to a fellow sitting there, and I said, "What's the difference in handling a Jones and a Lauderback?" And he looks at me and says, "Kid, how do you know the difference between a Jones and a Lauderback?" So anyway,
The one that's out front.
So our first recipient is Elwood Woody Prescott Jr. Come on here, Woody.
Well, you guys who don't know the Prescott family, my dad built this gentleman's dad boat back in 51 or 2, 53.
It was, and it's in Phil's gallery.
Anyhow, his dad, Woody Sr., boat were called Woody Special. When this gentleman came along, we called the boat they call the most Woody Junior special. But a quick story about his dad, when Woody and I, Woody's just a couple years older than me, just a few, but we were at a race in Portsmouth, Virginia. I was 8 or 9 years old. Woody was probably 10, 11 years old.
Well, I was only this high too.
Yeah, he was just all over the phone. I hadn't grown up yet. But anyhow, I was sitting on the bow of his dad's boat, 225, Woody's boat. I put over the legs, flopping in the water, and Woody was probably on the stern of the boat, holding the stern of the boat. And a friend of ours was running down his backstretch in his 246 class, Tim Fowle, Miss International, and the boat did a complete 360 and flipped. Well, his dad was sitting in the boat ready to go for the next heat. He takes off to go rescue Tim Fowle, and I'm the hood on it. I'm sitting down the boat, 9 years old, he's taking off. But anyhow, I've known this gentleman ever since we kind of went to school together. We grew up the same era, not the school together. But I think with New Martinsville, he flipped twice, 2 days in a row. He blew it over in the kilos, and blew it over in the race the next day. Woody Prescott, folks, a great company.
Thank you, Larry. And that story of Jim File is also in the memoirs of the vintage stories. In that particular year, something else happened that particular weekend. Not only did Jim flip that day, but he had actually flipped the day before, and they went over to Larry's dad's shop and they refurbished everything and got the boat back together and got it running. And so Jim went out and something went amiss and he couldn't get off the throttle and the thing took off, and the rest of it was history. But it was a wonderful weekend. I remember that weekend. My sister even remembers that weekend because that was the first weekend she was ever taken to jail. There was a happenstance where somebody threw a firecracker, and in those days, firecrackers were legal in Virginia. Well, somebody threw a firecracker, and pretty soon this guy comes walking up from the concession stand or snack area, and he had what appeared to be ketchup on his lip. But it wasn't ketchup, it was him. And so a bunch of people, since we were the closest car to the area, anybody in or about that area were hauled off to jail, of which my sister was one of them. Fortunately for me, I was down in the water with Larry holding the boat. Of course, Larry was taller than I was. I was a real old guy, still short. But short people forever. Racing has been a way of life. As I was telling Phil earlier, it's a disease. A very good disease. It's when you get involved with it, with the boats and the people, you eat, sleep, and drink 24/7. You have endless energy, and there's no sacrifice ever too great to do it. In this day and time, we hear about people being addicted to this and addicted to that. Well, fortunately, I can honestly say, in the boat racing fraternity, the only people I ever knew that were addicted to anything was boat racing. And I was very fortunate to have grown up in that arena. I was very fortunate to know people like Larry and Henry. And you people that now have boats have watched us race. And you wanted to do it, and now you're able to do that. My hat's off to you. Because you're going to preserve a history that can never be repeated. As I was talking with people at the table a little while ago, boat racing today is not what it was. My dad, sitting in a committee meeting one time, and the committee consisted of Val Bauer, it consisted of Red Petros from Richmond, Virginia. Now Red, I don't know if you all ever knew Red Petros, but his name, the way he used to say it, he was a referee from time to time, particularly in the Tidewater area. I'll get that right? Yeah, get those boats in the water. Get the plywood goods in the water. And that's what it's hard to believe as you look at these pictures, all these boats are 1/4 inch plywood. When I shared that with my friends at work, they said, what? I said, yeah, it's quarter-inch plywood. I said, on the bottom of the boat, you may have a couple spots where it's a little bit heavier than that, but for the most part, it's quarter-inch plywood, and they go pretty quick. They couldn't believe it. The workmanship that I'm seeing on these boats being rebuilt, reconditioned, it's a work of love. It's a craftsmanship that I could never do. I can't even draw a straight line with a ruler, much less with a boat. The finishes is outstanding. The attention to detail. And I was talking with Johnny earlier. Detail is what wins races. Detail is what makes something beautiful. And you all are doing it. My hat's off to you. I'm glad to have been a part of the life that you all want to be a part of and are a part of. Thank you for this wonderful event. Larry has been sharing with me for years. He said, Woody, he said, you really need to be involved with the vintage boats. And at work, I was mentioning vintage boats, and so people would go on the internet and they look at vintage boats, hydroplanes, and they tell me, they laugh, and they said, Woody, we know when you're getting old. And I said, how's that? They said, they call you vintage. So it's wonderful to be a vintage. It's great to be a has-been. And it's a lot better than being a never was. Thank you.
To go back here. This gentleman, one other quick story about his dad. I was fresh out of high school. I was 1965. I was crew chief for Charlie Dunn Jr. and I built his engines and his 280 boat and all. And we were racing back then. We might run, a single day event here and go 2 hours run a single day event. Anyhow, Charlie flipped in Chestertown, Maryland. I don't remember if you're not with it. He flipped in Chestertown. We had a race in Bush River the next day. Him and his dad said, please come to our home, and I'll drive you, so I was able to pull the engine out of the boat, get the salt water out of it, get it all freshened up. I got all the work done, so Big Woody says, Larry, come on and have a cocktail. Now, 19 years old, I don't think I even started drinking yet. I don't think I have. Probably not. So anyhow, his dad poured me a cocktail, and he's got a iced tea glass full of bourbon up to about there. He says, what you want to go with it, Larry? I said, oh my gosh. Woody Prescott, folks, this is a true champion right here.
Thanks so much, Woody. Our second recipient of the Henry Lauderback Excellent Powerboat Racing Award goes to an individual who's probably not only the greatest female racer of all time, but she's one of the greatest of all time, period. Ann Fitzgerald in the 1970s started racing in the T class, a little boat called Little Leprechaun. Three-time High Points champion, 1975, 1977, 1979. Moved to the S class, where she became national champion again in 1991, 1996, and 1997. 1991, Ann also set the competition record for the S class on the Lyle course, going 77.26 miles per hour. Ladies and gentlemen, introduce Ann Fitzgerald.
Come on, Ann.
I'm afraid of stories he's going to
All right. Do you remember the first time we met?
Larry, don't tell all the stories. I met Larry.
You're correct now.
I knew I went out from my first 2 race boats, which I had in consecutive years.
You already had yourself. I'll back up a minute.
Oh, yeah.
The first time I met you was in Burlington, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
John had a Suey 7 liter. I had
A what?
a big Suey 7 liter. And this hot young body over here was sitting on the beach. And I'm saying, who is this hottie? And that's John Fitzgerald's girlfriend. I was like, y'all be married at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Were you married? Well,
You make a difference.
But yeah, that's the first time I met you guys. John, you know, in 1973.
Yeah.
First time I met you guys. And it's been a fabulous relationship, and love this woman, love this man over there. But when she decided to step up, go ahead and tell the rest of the story now.
Well, I guess a lot of people are interested how I even got involved in boat racing. And I never thought that 39 years later, I'd be up here standing in front of a vintage group, and now I guess I am vintage. But I started racing when I was 32 years old, and all because of a friend, a very good friend, Bill Johnson, that has crewed with us for years and years and years, had an old boat sitting next to his garage, and my husband had this great idea that they're going to cut it in half and mount it up in the garage wall because they thought it was falling apart. Well, it turned out it wasn't falling apart, just needed new decks. Put it back together, and of course they needed a driver. And I promptly raised my hand, and that was the beginning of my racing career. And I know, I look back, and John realized he created a monster because I really dug my heels into it. I loved boat racing. I raced up until about 2005. I think I went through, how many boats, John? 9?
13, hun.
13. I just loved it from the beginning. I guess I was always a competitive person. I can remember as a youngster, you know, I would be so upset when I wanted to play baseball because my brothers were in Little League. And back then, when I was young, little girls didn't do that. You know, you weren't allowed in Little League. But I think John recognized my competitive spirit when we got to that point where I started racing. I had a wonderful career because of my husband. There weren't any ladies back then, except there was a gal named Annie Michelle, right? And I never had the opportunity to meet her, but she was a legend in my mind because I knew of her, and you know, it was just I never made it a gender issue. It was just something I wanted to do, and John was very supportive about it. And we raced 2 boats, the both of us, for quite a few years. We piggybacked them, and one year in the 80s, we had one accident after another. Either his boat was banged up or my boat was banged up. We both got hurt, and it was like, oh, we just can't afford to keep doing this. So we had an argument about who was going to continue racing.
Yes.
And he won.
Like a fire, come on, man.
So I was off and running, going from one boat to the next because, you know, you always want to keep getting better and better. And I had a great career. I really did. I had some wonderful races. A lot of people ask me what my most memorable was, and I think it was in '91 when I won the Nationals. I literally fell apart. Both of us did emotionally because I did not have the fastest boat, but I had the best boat for control. I never had a lift.
Die on the beach, that's why you
And Bobby Weaver and I, who was running a boat back then called the Lobster Boat, who was actually back out on the circuit again, he was the fastest, and we were at Hampton, and we had a deck-to-deck race, and I was so exhausted when it was done, I nearly collapsed. But that and breaking a record and winning the Nationals, and you know, I honestly never thought too much about my accomplishments as the years went on. I just did something that I loved, and I had lots of support. I was very fortunate when I got into the 80s. I thought, well, maybe somebody will help us pay for this, and I ended up getting sponsorships, and that helped us really continue the career. And then I got to a point in 2001, I was looking at our ages, and I said to John, I said, you'll be 100, and I'll be 90, and I'll still be racing. You know, we got to get off this merry-go-round. We have to get off so we can do some other things. Yeah, so we did in a way, but then I had an opportunity to race Sandy Thompson's 2.5 mod, and that Lauderback Special Edition was a true racehorse, and it was quite an honor to be able to race something like that. And with work issues and time, that sort of went away. And Sandy, to this day, we have dinner with him every year at Ken Island, and he says, "Andy, I want to bring the boat out and race it." I go, "Sandy, 71 years old, I can't be doing this anymore." So I got to tell you about, Henry. It's such an honor to have an award in his name, because Henry was so special. And I remember, I knew I had outrode my first boat, my second one, and I thought, oh, I heard about this Lauderback boat. So I went to Larry, and I forget where we were, and I said, "Larry, would you build me a boat?" Not knowing, maybe he had gender issues, And he goes, Larry, with that drawl, "Well, sure, honey." Sure, honey. So I go traipsing back to Tom. I said, "Guess what? Larry Lauderback said he would build a boat for me." So now we end up in the shop, and we get to meet Mr. Henry, who is a legend, we know. And Steve Lewis, the job you have done on that trailer in tribute to Henry was just outstanding. You have to see it. There is a picture. I'm so flattered that there's a picture of Henry and I, and you have to take a look at it, because I'm looking at Henry, and I do have a funny look on my face, and I want you to know Henry's hand is on my butt. Henry never called me Bub, but he always did pat me on the rear end. Right? So with that, I want to say thank you so much for honoring me, and the great job that the Josephs do on this event. We've heard so much about it. John and I always wanted to come here, and now we are here, and I'd love to come back. And I just so much appreciate you recognizing me. It's truly an honor. Thank you so much.
One little quick story. One little quick story, Amy. You can tell. You can tell.
Larry built my new boat, right? And John couldn't go to the races with me all the time, but I had such a racing fever. I went without him. So I go to Sherrod. Was it Raleigh? I thought it was so.
You are getting.
I am getting old. So I'm so proud of myself, because I'm taking care of my boat, and they taught me how to do the valves, and I did all my prep work, and I'm really proud of myself that I'm getting through this weekend without John. And
I was there, Bob.
Why not? Yeah.
And we're at the end of the day, and we're packing up, and somebody asked me to move our transport truck. And I thought, oh yeah, it was Jimmy Sellers. I can blame this on him. I had forgotten that my brand new boat cowling was behind the truck. I backed over the engine cowling. I went, oh, and I go, "Don't tell Larry."
I heard him grunting across the pits.
Oh my God, I was so upset. I called John Korsky. He's going, "You did what? You just ran over your engine cowling." But Larry said, in his usual way, "Don't worry, honey. We will fix it."
Andy Fitzgerald, ladies and gentlemen. John, get up here. I'm not going to get a picture, John. You're the most quality of the videos. John and Ann have been up. They
want to tell stories.
No, he don't want to get in the mic.
Keep your hand off of my ass.
The Fitzgerald, ladies and gentlemen, they are a great contribution to our sport. Good job, Andy. No, you're not getting it.
Just short one here.
Just short.
Short and quick. Henry Lauderback. You all in this room know what it is to go through work, and the people you surround yourself with make you. You don't make yourself. You're done by your people, your equipment, and how you treat other people. Henry Lauderback, she won a national high point the first year she ever ran a race boat. I never won one. But Henry Lauderback and Larry taught us how to race. A lot of people know you go racing. The Lauderback family taught us how to race, how to do things right, how to take care of the equipment, what to do, what not to do. And to this day, I was honored to be in the presence of Larry and his father, Henry Lauterbach, one of the most outstanding human beings I've ever met in my life. Thank you, Mr. Henry. Appreciate everything. Thank you.
You gotta keep this stuff serious here. The train I came to
You could at least put this back, okay? We'd like you to come. You give your wife an award.
I'm known for breaking things, so leave it go.
All right, you finished talking now, Joe?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, good. And you're a singer. Everybody knows that. Each year, we give an award for the Boat Builder of the Year. It started off a number of years ago in Detroit. Henry Lauderback and Larry received this award a long time ago, and they've asked us to continue on part of the American Powerboat Association. We have been trying for years to get the contact for somebody who's been deserving of this award. Rich Hallett Jr., I was able to find contact with by way of Ken Fauntleroy of Lifeline, who said, "Oh, I know Rich." He said, "I've known him for years." I said, "Well, good. It's about time I find where he is." So his dad, Rich Hallett, started building hydroplanes in Valley, California in the 1940s. Built well over 100 hydroplanes. In the 50s and 60s, the boats were very fast boats, carried a lot of air under them. Pretty lightweight boats. The first boat to go over 100 miles an hour with automobile power, engine power, was Paul Sawyer's Alter Ego, which was a Hallett hull. One of the things that Hallett did, bottom was a little more curved than most of the other boats. A lot of other boat builders kind of followed suit. Some of the famous Hallett boats, of which there were many, just run over some names. In the Y class was the Luke K and the Tinker Toy. S class, Jerky and Landy. A class, Screaming Eagle 4 and Avenger 6. N class, a bunch of them. I'm in, Flying Saucer, Jersey Devil, who we saw back east here. Gummy's Ghost, and Uncle Gummy. As a kid, I can remember drawing pictures of Gummy's Ghost sitting in history class. F class, Beligerio and the Alter Ego, and the H class boat again back this way, Marion Cooper's Hornet. I went through the record books, dozens of high point championships, national championships, straightaway, closed course records. Rich Hallett built inboards, he built flat bottoms, he built drag boats, he built Lee Taylor's jet-powered Hustler, that set the world water speed record of 285, and there may be a gentleman in this room that knows some of the water speed records. Is Ken Warby in here somewhere? Yes. So, anyway, on behalf of the American Powerboat Association and the Wheeling Vintage Raceboat Regatta, I'd like to have Rich Hallett Jr. come up here, and I want to congratulate him and also apologize to him because the poster apparently did not get back from the folks who were printing this. Do you have anything you need, Larry? I would like you, Larry Lauderback, to take this.
Rich, like I said, I've just met you for the first time today, but I knew your dad very well. My dad was, all of the book builders were dumbasses. That's what he looked at. Now, I came along a second generation, and Ron Jones and Don Stouter, your dad and all, I try to get along with everybody. And it's an honor to have the Hallett name. You forgot to mention my buddy John Syracuse, Dan.
Oh,
He he had a lot of Howard boats, the country boys.
That's right. Yep.
And John was a dear friend of mine. He had a Lauderback, he had Howards. So, you know, last year we honored John Stoddiger here. And John had a lot of kind things to say about me. And I'm sure Richard got a lot of good things to say about me too.
Well, I'm not much at being in front of people, but this is quite an honor. I've been out of boat racing for quite a while, but I have a ton of memories. And growing up with my dad, and going to like places like Long Beach and walking down the beach with a string with a piece of wood cut out like a hydroplane. I'm sure a lot of us have done that over the years. And then watching him build, go to school, watch him build a boat, come back, see the progress. It was amazing. And he never built two the same. He put it on a dolly, and he'd say, well, the last one had this much lift, let's put this much lift in it. And he would just try it. And he just, one year he built 26 boats in 1 year. 26 boats. He built over 600 circle boats. He built like 30 drag boats, and he built a lot of flat bottoms. So it was just to be and watch him and be around him, and then to get to race his boats was quite an honor. And so for you guys to do this, it's hard to express how I feel. This is quite an honor. So thank you very much.
Two more things. First thing, if you can't see this TV screen, if you could bring your chair up or move, especially, we've got, you may not, everybody here may not know it. Everybody knows who Larry Lauderback is. Everybody knows who Henry is. But Larry had a brother, actually two brothers. David, who was not involved in boat racing, and Hank Lauderback, who was involved in boat racing. Hank had the boat with something special that Brian and Julie Joseph now own. And unfortunately, Hank was killed in an accident in that boat way too soon. Hank's daughter showed up at the Wheeling Vintage Raceboat Regatta last year and said to my husband, do you think I could get down a little closer so I could see? Dan noticed that she had a shirt on that had the same colors as the Something Special. And he went over and said, why do you want to see the boat? And she said, that was my dad's boat. Janine Lauderback and her children are here tonight. I'd like you guys to come up front. I just want you guys to be able to see this. We have one other member of the Lauderback family here tonight. Cousin Bill Lauderback, Larry's cousin, has redone a beautiful Lauderback boat that you'll see in the pits on static display. Larry has done work on this, and the boat is incredible. The boat has been named the Uncle Henry after Henry Lauderback, which we think is very special. So we're happy to welcome 3 members of the Lauderback family tonight. Bill? The video, okay. The video that you're about to see is a video that Brian came across that I don't know that anybody in this room has seen. This is one of the only videos we've ever been able to find of Hank Lauderback running. At the end of the video, there's a short interview with Hank as well. I know Janine has not seen this entire video, and I know her children have not. Henry or Larry, I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but okay. Anyway, if you all can't see the TV, please move up a little closer so you can see it. It's about a 5-minute video. This is Hank running.
For our final 2.5 modified race, the 6-cylinder engine powered boat, they will put on some kind of a show as we've seen throughout the summer of 1987.
Let me do something real quick here. You know, a lot of y'all didn't know my brother Hank, but he was just a dry sense of humor and everything. So we were living in Virginia. We had a race in Essex, Maryland, the same weekend as this race. Essex, Maryland. So, you know, he's going about 10 hours past Essex. I said, Hank, why in the heck are you going all the way to Dayton? He said, just to be televised. I'm going to win that race on being television. Now go.
Okay, Brian.
Around the setup, I said, hey, way on the right side of your screen, that is you Long in the A11. That may be Steve Long. Sometimes they'll look like as far as driving. There goes Hank Lauderback out of nowhere. He is legal. A great start for Lauderback. Look at that boat go. Hank Lauderback has been telling us all day that he has not been good mechanically, that if he ever got this boat together, it would take off. I have never seen it run better than this. First boat to their left is Hank Lauderback. That's Bill Morrison coming by on the outside. I don't think Bill is running this right. On the inside is Doug Felster. Now, he's the man that has the record on this course at 1.25 miles. He is giving chase to that gentleman right there out of the state of Virginia, Hank Lauderback, and only his first year of racing. For third and fourth, Morrison on the outside, Bob Newman on the inside, driving for Bill Whitehouse in the Coot Light Silver Bullet. Look at Felster moving up on the inside, Steve going into the second turn. That cab over design normally has a little bit of an advantage in corners, but Hank Lauderback is staying right with him on the outside. Look at this boat race. I have never seen Hank Lauderback run like this. That thing is a rocket right now. Felster, trying to catch him, has a little advantage on the inside. Lauderback told me prior in the break part of this race, and he says, hey, nobody's passed me all day. I've just been braking. So right now, he has proven the point, but he's got Felster on the inside, and he is one of the best. Let's face it, looks like he may have somewhat of a lead right now. He's got all the advantage, Steve, inside position, and great speed. It's that simple, and a great boat. You know, Hank Lauderback has a disadvantage because of his name. It's a legendary name in boat racing. He hasn't been doing this very long. He's practically a rookie, and look at him go. First place right now. That one right there, Doug Felster out of Michigan, was built, designed by Tom DeEat, one of the great unlimited drivers, limited and car drivers, car racers. But right now, it's all Hank Lauderback, as he is putting on an incredible show, making Larry's brother's got to be proud, Henry, the father, and mother, they all got to be happy. And this gentleman right here coming down the main straightaway in first place. Every time you're in a race and you see one of those boats, there are a couple of old-timers in the pit saying that's the way a hydroplane should look. The driver sitting behind the engine. A lot of backs will tell you they're going to build some cab overs, but only for cosmetic reasons. They don't really think they're any better. The boat is called Something Special, that being Hank Lauderback's boat right here, and I guess that's appropriate for this heat because that start that he put on the rest of the field was indeed something special, as Felster now is dropping back, better than 2 rooster tail lead for Lauderback going down the back straightaway. There's Felster in second place. And that's Bob Newman running in third place in the Coors Light Silver Bullet. Hank Lauderback now has put more than a rooster tail on Doug Felster, and you could have got tremendous odds that this would ever happen. It's hard to believe that he's leaving Felster like this. But this is living evidence, Steve, that if you get a great start, incredible things can happen in a heat. If this gentleman has done it, Hank Lauderback, winner today of the final of the 2.5 modifieds. And again, here comes Doug Felster for the finish. Yeah, Newman gets second, Felster third. Thank you, appreciate it.
Isn't it wonderful to see that Hank had the same sense of humor that his father and his brother had? Anyway, we're happy to, you're welcome, Janine. We're happy. Thank you to Brian and Julie for presenting that video, for getting that. I think, Julie, I think has some copies here that she's going to do something with. Before we do the door prizes, that's our very last thing. This entire dinner tonight, entirely, I mean entirely, is put together by Brian and Julie Joseph. I want to thank them for everything that they've done. Okay, we have 6 door prizes. First one, where's Bill McLaughlin? Where are you, Bill? Okay, why don't you tell us about this? The first 3 things were donated by Bill McLaughlin. He's going to describe these.
the Detroit Gold Cup, in previous years, they always, as a fundraiser, had a celebrity skiff race. And they would auction off seats in the skiffs for a celebrity heat. And then depending on who was successful in the place that you came in, you received an award, which in part was sponsored by the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club. At that time, they sponsored the vintage portion of what now is the DYC event. And so we received awards such as this. It's a plaque that says, 4th place Jersey Skiff Race, July 11, 2009, 100th running of the APBA Gold Cup. Well, the recipients of these awards were supposed to be the people that won the rides. And some of these gentlemen, paid, I think we got $2,000 for one heat of skiffs. And the one gentleman who won it had gabardine slacks on, and he was a senior citizen when he got out of the boat. He was a bit tipsy, and we guided him up the ramp back to the stands, and he had a streak on the back of his pants about that wide. So we're not sure which place he came in, or which award was his. It may very well not be this one, but this one was never picked up. So we'd like to give it away as a, and the winner is WLT, the User Boat Girl. Debbie's been a long time APBA participant and racer, and we learned today that she just sold her boat. She's retiring. There you go, Doc. Now she'll get a vintage race. We've got everything here from the Thousand Islands, the Antique and Plastic Boat Society, ABM, and Dave Richardson is here, and our two longtime gentlemen that have been involved in that event. And what they do is each year they have an award poster. And this happens to be the race poster from the regatta in 1992. It features the Dixie, the Miss Canada 3, and the Chrysler Queen. And it's mounted on foam core, has an outboard around there, and it's a very fine rendering. And this one goes to John Jenkins. The final one is a poster which is mounted from the 30th Annual Vintage Boat Show, Saturday, July 7th, at the Alex Bay Village Docks. It was sponsored by the Thousand Islands Country Club and Hackers Pub and Grill in Wellesley Island. The ACBS Thousand Islands chapter was a participant in this event, and it shows some of the boats at the Alex Bay Dock. Okay, and this winner is Scott Kirshner. If you haven't had your fill of vintage racing, next Saturday at Buffalo Lunch Club is the oldest APBA racing group in the United States, and we have our event there. We're featuring 3 Unlimiteds. The Miss US is already in town, the Gale, and the Miss Budweiser will be there as our 3 featured boats. So anybody that's out there, we'd love to have you come.
And this is going to go back to you to Buffalo Launch Club. We'll donate to you back to the Launch Club.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bill, we appreciate your donation of those items. The last three items are gift cards to Cabela's. They're $25 gift certificates. Cabela's has been a great supporter of us of the regattas in the last few years. If you looked in your driver's bags today, or if you look around up at our souvenir trailer, there are Cabela's coupons that are $20 off $150. Those are actually coded to the regatta. So if somebody goes to Cabela's and uses those, Cabela's knows that we got those coupons into the hands of somebody. So if you get those coupons, please use them, because this year, we apparently did well enough last year that Cabela's gave us $700 in gift cards. So we're giving part of them out tonight as door prizes here. The 3 door prize winners are Tim Settle, John Pepe, and Larry Lauderback. Well, congratulations to all the award winners. I thank you all for coming out tonight. This has become a favorite part of the regatta for all of us, so especially for this committee and for the Joseph family. We appreciate your support in everything that we do. The drivers' meeting tomorrow morning is at 8:30 sharp. As Marv Hart says, what time does the 8:30 drivers' meeting start? 8:30 at the bottom of the steps in Heritage Port. Again, thank you all for coming very much, and we will see you all in the morning. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna get back to you. You're leaving? I'm gonna walk down and stuff. Okay. Yeah, I think he's gonna come with us too. I haven't heard back from him. I heard. My first You gonna find it? I'm the UFO. You're the UFO? UFO. As long as you give him a ride. As long as you scare the shit out of him. I went to all right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Anything for you, Cubs. God bless you.
I was there. So people come on, well, I don't know. Well, yeah. Thunder. And told me how to was she was in teacher. Uncle Henry. Who was that? I said, take Henry. And then they, yeah, I remember all, yeah. He always thought, Uncle Henry. Spoke highly of him. I spent a lot of time. I said, the last 5 or 6 years,
Rolling down. Oh, thanks for sharing. Okay. I wish she'd come around. You know, take home.
I like to see the picture of him and Annie. He'd always have a hand on the ass, you know?
Yes, I did. How you doing? Good to see you. I remember when you went to that watch place. What's your pearl?
It seemed like a
Maybe had girlfriends. Well, then my chicks. My stepmother. Chase. Chase was awesome. My mama Chase. She had so
right. He was going to go.
She's doing really well.
That was the person that.
What really happened?
Here we go. There's a cute couple here. Don't tell Chris though.
And he was very supportive.
Yeah, he's a dog. Oh, you can Also, when you ride a real race,
Of all the awards, it just so happens my brother was one man.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it, but I've never seen still pictures, and that's all.
And so, anyway, they've been looking on the internet.
Treasures.
We're gonna get you up early.
Oh, we will. Great, thank you. Good. Yeah.
Duct tape your toes, they said it.
That's what we've done that before. You know, somebody we want in, we just wrap some duct tape around your sandals and you're good to go. It takes you weeks to get the adhesive off, and you know. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Your major sponsor, it's just kind of nice, or sorry, thank you for that. And go in there and tell them, just use the name Lauderback, and they can good credentials. And, you know, it doesn't matter which one of Joseph's, but, you know, Dan told you to go get them. So, yeah, it won't be a problem. If there's any question at all, they will get hold of it. So, anyway, you should be good. Thank you so much, everybody. See you guys tomorrow. So you
showed up. That's a, I looked over and do you shop at the yellow and blue place? What's your relationship with that boat? That was my father's boat. And so that really took me up. And the father, in his late 80s when he was still 87, I guess. And so she was a little kid. And she lost her dad. So it was a big deal. She just found out about the event because somehow she was Henry Lauderback and came up to Thursday event by his name. They got up in the middle of the night and drove to Wheeling, West Virginia, not knowing what they were going to see. And so they just showed up, and that's what happened. So anyway, I said, you stay right here. We need to get you guys down in the pits, get around the boat, get to meet my brother, and so forth. So Hank would run the kilos. He only raced for the kilos. Came out of the boat. He got 126 on the props.
Think about that.
Came back.
So when I'm pretty well done. So
I ran a few before I was certified. First one I went to was Parker.
Oh, okay.
And I ran the kilo. And I went 72. Never raced.
That's nuts.
That's 67.
Larry will tell you about something. National Lodge straight there. I come out to Washington. And pucker up a hole. Go for a ride. So a lot of kilo records in the park. So I said 62 records. Straight section of the river is protected. Most winds are coming from the west. With one exception, we have hills on the west. There's a little dip in the hills. So you're fairly protected from that. And they ran in September, so your temperatures tend to be cool in the more early morning. Bottom on the river, so it's really dense air. So you got the danger of protection. So lots of records set there. I never understood how because you guys carry so much air under those suckers. Lauderback, all boats carry too much air under when you're going fast. But there's a big difference. Yeah.
I like the other one. My mom's one that would take us to the races.
See you tomorrow. Good night, Steve. Good night.
Yeah, she always. But I was so younger. I remember them sitting as the only to the shop. With the umbrella between the two of them, like they're watching the races, waiting for the next heat. As he would do it, and she would do it with them.
You're getting filmed, are you, or what? How do we get a copy of that thing?
And he went,
We'll get it to you.
why
All right.
such and such?
You are the man. If there's any charge, just let me know. I know what you're doing. If there's any charge, you can take care of it.
Go look him up. We looked him up, right? He knows them.
He's like the Earl Krause.
Oh, stock racing. Yeah.
Remembers facts. The guy that does all the unlimited races. Madison area.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Oh.
Well, watching the live feed of the races and to watch Bill Watt, Shane, Bill Watt driving over Shane over and over again. It's amazing. I just, oh, do you?
Yeah, I hear that's the place to go.
All right.
You guys
Come back here.
From the air trail, open it up the side, across the deck. The turn fin, and all that area was pulled out. And the right side of the beam
It was just great.
pulled out in there. And the nose of the sponsors.
I saw that happen. I mean, they were on helicopter view. They were coming there, and I knew, uh-oh, there's nothing there for this guy, and he's gone because, as you oftentimes see in the first turn, you've got this. He is here, and there was nowhere to go at that point. And
It was tremendous. Because we went down and it took them 2 hours.
We kept watching. They kept, well, here it is again. The thing's still sitting like that.
Well, I mean, once they got it back to the crane, how about the crane? Never. Oh, it was totally.
Oh, yeah.
We had one of the things I've asked a question of, that is, car racing, Formula One races, so forth, they try to decrease G-forces going to the turn because of safety issues. You know, if you lose control, where you go and how fast are you going? Straightaway is one thing, but when you go into that darn turn, and you know, the old Formula One tires were enormous, and you know, they were basically slicks, big wide slicks, and they cut down to decrease that.
What's the connection here?
Why is it that you have skid fins on these boats that are the size of that table, basically? It doesn't make sense. The risk is so great that if it fails, the forces are so great. What happened?
If you guys told me, I was going to tell it.
Seawall.
I was going to tell it.
Then I asked, anyway, the point was, what I was told was, the boat owners like that because it gives them more control of the boat, so they tend not to bounce into each other.
We're good. I mean, I have to.
All right.
You're going back in, up on the inside, you're going back out, crashing, you're going back up,
they're taking the turn fins off the boat and they put the crane.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm getting. This is our thing.
I got your check right there.
Okay, good. I was worried. I went back on the day. Oh man, I got you.
Yeah, he's here. You know that? He has Steve. I don't know if Mike's coming or not.
No, not really.
Are you going to be around all weekend or just?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
As always.
I was showing Debbie she said, you don't have a stem. I said, cool. Plastic.
I'm going to.
Is that cool?
That's all right.
That's great for travel.
That is neat. That is really neat.
When I went down to Philly in November, I bought $2 million yacht. This is what they had on
To protect it.
Abraham, what do you get the last? Catalog.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you too. We had the honoree table, didn't we?
We did. It was
VIP ticket. Yeah, the VIP, not PIV. We had VIP.
Yes.
I noticed you make him carry stuff.
I think my
There's a reason to bring him.
That's where you're staying.
I am absolutely
Antic,
for
let's
it.
come across the street.
Well, we are too, so we are thrilled to death.
Oh, yeah?
I just
Come on over
told your
and
brother, I
visit.
said, I'm just,
Sounds good. We're not
I'm like
going
in
to
love
drink
with
any
it
problem,
right now, and I haven't had
we ain't got anywhere to go tomorrow, but here, who cares?
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Well, it's nice to have you guys, and just,
right.
you know, like I said, you guys have done something. We wouldn't exist. Vintage and Historic would not exist if it weren't for the guys like you folks. And
You know, the funny thing is that first boat that they put together for me, if that was today, somebody would be stocking it up for a vintage boat. It wouldn't have been put back together for me. Seriously.
no, I'm serious. Yeah, you're exactly right. No,
How old was that boat? It was 20-some years old, wasn't
Oh,
it?
hell, that boat was old. It was short and wide. It was only like about barely 13 feet long. It was a pretty little thing, but it was used, you know. I thought, well, I want to buy it. I bought it for like $100.
Nothing but the finest for the wife,
Cut it
huh?
right down the center line and put a
Oh,
boot and hang it over the garage door.
When he bought it.
Oh,
Got
really?
into it, I'm looking, and she was foaming at the mouth. I got into the damn thing, and inside was good.
Sure, I know. That's true.
Bought a Toyota engine for $100, glued everything together, put it on the rear, and this dummy goes out and wins high points the first year with the damn thing. That was the hook. That was, we're done.
From the
She
first
done.
day I raced, I was
And
I know it.
We went to test it. We couldn't test it. We had to pick it up and throw it in the water off the trailer. You would have seen us trying to get it out. Remember?
Yes.
Throw it into the lake,
Yeah.
throw it in the water.
Great career.
Oh.
But I had lots of support.
She even drove my 7-liter.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Got
I drove
chucked
it
out of it.
Essex. Well, the first time was Essex, and then the next time was Cambridge. He said, "You take it out." Well, I go, Cambridge is rough.
No, I've been there. Yeah,
And
no.
I go barreling into the first turn.
Yep.
Don't even lift. Spits me out like I was a
Suey 7-liter were not
Big,
fun.
wide open, off the bay. It's just big, wide open spaces.
You get a lot of river traffic.
Yes,
and
river and breeze.
It was an ugly place.
Whereas
Made a
Essex,
hospital.
when I raced there, that's big, round course.
Yes.
And, you just lay it in the turn, it goes, but
And which is
a little
interesting.
bit different at Cambridge.
Which is interesting because I look
I thought I
at
was gonna drive it like my little boat.
when I look at the amount of lift they put in Hallett's, and I look at some of the boats that ran out west, which are one of the Arcadian sort. The water is flat. The courses oftentimes are circles almost, and they don't need as much lift. And your old man built these boats with this lift in there. I mean, holy cow, it must have been amazing. The amount of air that is.
Air is cheap.
Air is
Air is cheap.
It could be your best friend or your worst enemy.
There you go. Exactly right.
And water is even
And
worse.
all of us have flown one time or another, right? You're not racing if you don't fly. It happens.
I never really flew one.
Well, Suey's didn't fly.
No, I blew the 280 over the corner and I stuffed the star.
But, all my later boats, cab overs,
Oh, we got some
I went over
spectacular
several
boats.
times.
I got some real flight climbers. Yeah, you fly an airplane up and go so far and then it stalls.
I was so high in the air and it had stalled up there. I actually had time to think
Kick out of it.
that, I better kick out of this because it's going to fall on top of me when I'm in the water.
There's
Redbank.
that silent place.
Yes, that's true.
Silent.
That's
That silent spot.
You're right, Rick.
And that one time at Greenwood Lake, remember Francois Campo? He was outside of me, and the photographer got a picture of him. I'm way up in the air. He's looking up at me.
He's looking up at
Yeah,
it.
Francois.
Came down. Oh, golly.
You gotta love this shit because you can't make it up.
And
So-
like what's his name said, it's a disease. It's in
It
your,
is.
It's in your blood. It's a
Alright.
thing in that bloodstream that will never go away.
And unless people can't understand what's involved, and I know you can because you get so hooked on it, and even today, I might come back and raceboat in a heartbeat, but I know it's not the right thing to do. I would. Right?
Well, she's 6 inches shorter on one side than the Jizzy with 2 back operations. She's a little tilted,
None of
It
us
was
are for the world.
It was fun. Let's go get a drink. What's
You
it
going
called?
to TJ's?
Yeah, we're going over to TJ.
Yeah.
We'll go back, put this stuff in the room and come back
I
down
hope I
again.
didn't say anything stupid.
No, you were fine. God bless you.
No, I use foul words on it though. You're gonna echo them out or they stop.
Do you go in?
What we do with this tool right here is draw lines that are real long and we don't have to take any measurements. So this spot right here is 3 inches down. See this spot? It's 3 inches down. Hang on, you'll be able to get inside in a second. 3 inches right down to there. So what you do here, what's that? Yep, right there at the bottom. You can do a line without even having to take any measurements. Watch your hands.
Move the Cairo. Move your hand to Cairo, up in the air.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you.
So all you do is drag it. You see that?
Wow.
You make
look
your
at
line
that. Nice straight line.
real fast, no measurements. That's why they call it a speed square, because you can make lines real fast with it.
I think we need to go.
So how do you guys want to try? Because we have to do this side and this side. And then
Bailey, watch what you're doing. Watch your pencils.
see that? Get that nice long line. Didn't have to take one measurement. All right, there we go.
We are just taking Thanks, Lowe's.
Now, we have a foredeck and an aft deck. The foredeck goes on the front of the boat, and the aft deck goes on the back of the boat. And the aft deck has this piece right here.
Okay, here we go. Oh, what's that for?
This is an aft deck, and yep, goes at the back of the boat. So what happens is this cutout right here, that's so you can put an outboard motor on the back end of the boat. We have a beam that comes all the way across underneath. We call that a deck beam because that's a deck. And the deck beam post. So underneath the deck, we get the deck beam. Alright, so the deck sits on top, but then we want something to hold this up, so we have a post that goes underneath. This speed square is handy for making lines that have to go straight up and down against another line coming across. So this we actually call perpendicular. Can you guys say that?
Say perpendicular. Perpendicular.
All right.
Good word, Here we go. That right now. Good work.
There we go. Perfect.
Good, Bailey.
All right. Okay, over on this side.
Okay, one over.
Perfect. Right now.
I did it! Woohoo! Okay, one over.
Perfect. Right now.
I did it! Woohoo! One over here? Who has a screw?
Me!
Well, somebody hasn't done one yet.
I did it!
Pick your handle up. Get it above the head of the nail, and the nail goes down straight. Okay? Now, the other thing is the hammer, the weight of that hammer is enough to put the nail in without having to take a real big swing. You don't have to be a superhero. You don't have to be charged with anything else.
Let the hammer do the work.
Just let the hammer do the work. That's exactly right. Okay, guys. Now see, all you have to do is let the hammer head fall on the nail. You don't even have to swing. Just get the hammer head up and let it fall down on the nail. See the nail go in. Now we want to put the nail in far enough so it's just below the surface of the wood. So make sure you give it a couple of good whacks at the end.
Oh, it came out of the box.
Here we go. Got 2 more to go.
more. Gage's fingers on his nose. Okay, okay, ready? Say cheese.
Look at Miss Lindsay. My jar, look at Miss Lindsay. All right.
Okay.
You guys, have fun.
Out here in the country, we all know a place where you can ride off in the sunset and take yourself a break from the hustle and the bustle of a city-fied kind of pace. Out here in the country, we all know a place when you pull up to the front gate, show them your ID card. Nobody's gonna ask you, is that really who you are? Then you ride off in your swamp machine and head out to your camp. Open up a cold beer, cause you're at River Ranch. We got a tire swing and a mud sling, it's a River Ranch kind of day. It's all good with everybody, yeah, we all come to play. We got a tire swing and a mud sling, it's a River Ranch kind of day. Let's ride out to the swimming hole, it ain't that far away. Early in the evening, you got your campfire going on. Barbecue bird, the word's been heard, gator stew's coming along. And just before the sun sets and the daylight's finally gone, you go out to the shack out back and turn your generator on. We got a tire swing and mud sling, it's a River Ranch kind of day. It's all good with everybody, yeah, we all come to play. We got a tire swing and a mud sling, it's a River Ranch kind of day. Let's ride out to the swimming hole, it ain't that far away. Well, at night you see the bonfire, everybody's hanging out. And there might be a little bit of moonshine, cause we're all from the south. Tater's got his mud truck with the stereo turned up loud, playing country music, cause this is a rowdy crowd. Well, there's a tire swing and a mud sling, it's a River Ranch kind of day. It's all good with everybody, we all come to play. We got a tire swing and a mud sling, it's a River Ranch kind of day. Let's ride out to the swimming hole, it ain't that far away. far away. Let's ride out to the country. It's a river ranch kind of day. It was a day of confusion, been Monday all week long. No longer any illusion, everything had gone wrong. The rent-a-car wouldn't start up, I'd missed my plane back home. And as I sat in the airport, my mind started to roam. I'd met a man in the islands. His face was wrinkled and tan. I felt like I'd known him as I shook his hand. It was sometime around sundown, and I just got into town. There was no more rhyme or reason, somehow I had to slow down. So we went for a boat ride, a charter well worth the time. We cruised and I listened about his life and time. Now he'd been a writer, and he'd been a player, he'd been a dreamer, somehow he got it all done. And he'd lived for a long time, sometimes under the gun. Said what you do ain't what matters, long as you're having some fun. 'Cause we're not here for a long time, we're only here for a good time. This is no dress rehearsal, there's only one time around. So I'll live by the ocean, entertaining the notion. If I go to heaven, hope it's on something that floats. We're not here for a long time, we're only here for a good time. This is no dress rehearsal, there's only one time around. So I'll live by the ocean, entertaining the notion. If I go to heaven, hope it's on something that floats. Hope it's on something that floats. Hope it's on something that floats.
Get to the dock at any point if it's at the end. Don't argue with the rescue people. If you have a problem, if there's an accident or an incident out there on the course, and the rescue people come, they are in charge. They're gonna tell you what they want you to do. They're gonna take care of you safely. That's what they're there for. They're there to help you. Don't argue with them. That's about all I have right now. I want everybody to be safe, have a good time, and we know this event is always a lot of fun, and I want to see everybody burn up a lot of fuel and have a good time here. We're not going to have a meeting tomorrow unless somebody misbehaves, and then we'll call another driver's meeting. Other than that, you guys have a good time. I'm going to pass this to Matt. I think he's got a few things to add.
Yeah, just everybody with safety. It starts, you know, we have people here that are obviously in charge of the safety, but it starts with everybody here in the pits, including the competitors. So it starts with you. If you see something wrong, don't be afraid to say, hey, you know, this needs to be adjusted here. You see somebody needs some help, don't be afraid to step in and help them. If you need help, don't be afraid to ask. In most of this racing that we come to, especially with hydroplane racing, people are always helping each other out, and that's what's great about the sport. And we talked about emergencies on the water. When there's emergencies on the dock, I know everybody wants to rush down and help, but we need to make sure we keep that dock area clear, and we'll have people down there to help a boat that may be sinking or something of that nature.
Yeah. Okay. Morning. What we're gonna try and do, I'm Todd if anybody doesn't know it. That's Rachel. That's Sam. Anyways, the boat's going out on the course. On just the north end of the dock down here, are going this way. If you're coming off the course, you're coming in this end of the dock. Okay, and as we do things, you're gonna pull your boat up, unfortunately against the current, but that's the way we gotta do it. And I wanna reiterate what was just said about essential personnel only on the dock, because if we do have a problem, it gets mighty crowded down there mighty quick.
To worry about things that I have and I have not. Worry about the weather and whether I would ever have a lot. I'd be always sweating and most of the time regretting what I've done. My mind was always on the brink, and every day I need a drink. And somehow I forgot the things I love. The time is always passing by, and all you gotta do is try. Remember, you can always rise above. Sometimes when life gets a little rough and you don't feel like being tough, then help the situation go away. I had no friend. Used to see him on the weekends now and then. My friend had riches, but he still got itches just like I. One day it piled up to the sky, and he just couldn't make it fly. The situation got the best of him, and I've learned a lot, and I I ain't forgot. Don't let 'em put you on the spot. Just do your best and hang out with your friends. 'Cause time is always passing by, and all you gotta do is try. Remember, you can always rise above. I used to worry about things that I have and I have not. But now I got the courage, and I ain't gonna worry anymore. I had two things in common with a man I used to know. We liked to go out fishing, and we liked motorboats. I think about the time I spent when I was coming along. The smell of mahogany still takes me way back when. I remember back in '64, Granddaddy came, got me. He said, "Son, I got something that I want you to see." And from that day, it really changed me. It was late in the fall that year when we walked out on that pier. He said, "Now, son, be careful when you step on board. We'll see if we can get her out of here." Those early days were quite a time, and we learned a thing or two about what those red and green markers meant and what the wind could really do. Most of the time it was him and me on the boat that we both loved. I think about him quite a lot when I'm out here on the sea. And it's my ocean going history that always gets the best of me, not knowing where I'll go or where I'll be. It brings back those old memories about the way things used to be when it was just Granddaddy and me. Sometimes I get a familiar feeling when I walk down on the dock. My rods and reels and my ice and beer, it feels just like he's here. I hop aboard and I start her up, and I untie all my lines. One thing's for sure and it'll never change, the way the ocean makes you feel. And it's my ocean going history that always gets the best best of me, not knowing where I'll go or where I'll be. It brings back those old memories about the way things used to be when it was just Granddaddy and me. It's my ocean-going history that always gets the best of me, not knowing where I'll go or where I'll be. It brings back those old memories about the way things used to be when it was just Granddaddy and me. Out on the sea, Granddaddy and me. Granddaddy and me. He never tells me that he's sick of this house. He never says, why don't you get off that couch? It don't cost me nothing when he wants to go out. Want you to love me like my dog. He never says you need a new attitude. Him and my sister ain't always in a feud. When I leave the seat up, he don't think it is rude. I want you to love me like my dog does, baby. When I come home, want you to just go crazy. He never looks at me like he might hate me. I want you to love me like my dog. He never acts like he don't care for my friends. He never asks me where the hell have you been. He don't play dead when I want to pet him. I want you to love me like my dog does, honey. He never says, why don't you make more money? He always thinks, pull my fingers funny. I want you to love me like my dog. He don't get mad at me and throw makes a fit when I say his sister's a bitch. I want you to love me like my dog does, baby. When I come home, want you to just go crazy. He never looks at me like he might hate me. Want you to love me like my dog. Want you to love me like my dog does, baby.